Okay, welcome teachers. And this is our second session on assessment. And technically, there are two more. And next coming weeks, August 7 and August 14, we'll cover most of the things which you will need to prepare any activity on Desmos where you want to use assessment or self-assessment. Today, I'm going to talk about how you can give feedback and how you can create more auto-corrected responses or questions. So let's get started. I'll walk you through in 2-3 minutes how you can add different elements. I'll share my screen again. Okay, this is very simple activity I have prepared, and this can be used for a simple activity, or you can say for assessment as well. Let me walk you through the student preview of this. It's very simple. Look, it's a very common question. Place the red dot at between 0 and 5. Based on this, you can create different activities. I can create any, I can put it wherever I want. Let me show you how you can, how I'm saying that it is the assessment thing. I'm just editing this activity to show you how you can make sure that this is the assessment activity. Look at the dashboard preview. This is really important when you create anything for assessment. And here you can see if I drag between 0 to 5, a teacher will see tick. And if I go beyond 5, teacher will see cross, which means student didn't read the instruction properly or didn't point out or they place this dot at the appropriate position. Very simple. Next one, very simple again, same, it's a copy of that. Now place the red dot on 5 units right side of 0. So this activity can be used in grade 4, 5, etc., where you are dealing with integers. And then based on that, you can create very similar thing on other things as well. So let's say I have this and I'll enter the number. Look at the tick. If I enter 4 or 4, sorry, yeah, it's cross. So you are interacting. It is actually playing on the screen and also typing the answer. Next thing is again, it's now it has a combination of 3 things: a graph, a math input, and a multiple choice question, right? So let's say I have wrote here, place the red dot 8 units right side of 0. So you go 8 side, right side. So look, now student will actually relate it. I'm on a right hand side or on a left hand side. If I go back, look. So that's how I'll tell you what we are doing. Now let's go to 8, then enter the answer 8. And now enter the answer from here. 8 is opposite of -8. Look, when all 3 components are correct, then only I will see this tick. That's how you can ensure that student actually participating in everything. There are other screens. Let me show you here. Look at this. Place the red dot on 5 units right of the 4. So I have to go from 4 to 5. So the technical gap should be 5 and the answer should be 9, right? So look, first part is done. Now I have asked enter your number below. So the student is going to enter 9 and then he will submit. And then again, answer one more question related to that. Please select one option which describe well based on, I just forgot to put comma here. Yeah. So 9 is 004, 9 is 5, it's more than 4. 9 is less than 4. Look, so I'm giving the feedback immediately. Teacher is checking here. And if I am doing it correctly, it's correct. Yes. You can write any message here. So that's something, everything interconnected and having 3 parts. Maybe you can have 4 parts. There is no condition on that. Same thing here, 9 on left hand side of 4. So look, so the visuals are here. That's the beauty of Desmos. And we can see, okay, this is the 13 units, but I have to go 9 units. 9 units, so it's -4. So I just prepared this activity for some primary teachers so that they can make use of it. And you guys can make use of it by understanding the logic, what I'm writing in the coding part to make this activity as an assessment. So again, there are questions. Look, if it is correct, you will see this feedback. So yeah. So that's how we can create this activity. Let's say I share this activity with you guys, right? How you want to change it? Let's say you want to change my questions. Let me just take you through that because some of you are already aware what to do in these cases. Let's say you want to change my question number 8. Okay, let me go to first. So this is very simple question. I'm using one component. Okay, before we start, maybe I will just walk you through on there. So let's say I'm on a desmos.com, log in your account, and there are tools, resources, go to teachers, browse activities. If somebody just joined today, in that case, I'm saying. So what you have to do, don't forget to sign in again, I'm saying. Now where you have to go to create your activities, custom activities. And here, look, I just created this today. Now you can create a new activity here. Give that name, assessment, part 2 today. Right, 31st July. I just write the dates so that I can delete these activities. Create new activity, and then you are on the platform where you can add multiple components. So what I did, let me show you what I'm doing in my activity. Okay, let me just open this here so that you don't get distracted. Let me publish this. The other tab that we can just focus on these 2 pages side by side. Okay, here, look. Now I have both activities here. Let me show you what I have done here. I just use graph component. Let me take you through there. This is the empty slide. You go to graph. Now go to edit graph, right? And if you want to make the dot draggable, because we were dragging the dot. If you see here, we were dragging the dot. So you just need to create 2 variables. Let's say A and B. They are sliders technically. As soon as you enter, this becomes a draggable point. It's super easy. But see, you can drag it any direction and anywhere. But I want to restrict the direction. Look, in my case, it was only moving horizontally. It was not moving vertically, just to avoid confusion. So what I have done, I'll just use this here. Let's say 2 or 3. A, 2 will show only the A component variable, but 2 is fixed. I can delete B now, and I can drag only in one direction. I can't move up and down, cannot do anything. You want to change the color. Yes, go ahead from here, go to settings and change the color, whichever color you want. You want to label it, you can. You can also decide how bold you want, look, how big you want, sorry. Normal standard, it is 2 point something like that. And then you can manage where you want to show the labeling part, right? And you can also drag, make it undraggable. Look, now you are not able to drag it. If you want to drag it, click here and done. You can hide the grid if you want. I don't want to hide x-axis. I'll keep y-axis as it is. Put arrows, hide the grid, so that student will see only the number line, right? Your number line is ready. And one more thing, very important. When your slider is ready, now it's taking every decimal value, right? It's very difficult to stop where you want. What you have to do, click on the slider in the steps, write down whatever steps you want. Let's say just put 1. For lower grade kids, better to put 1. Now it will go only on minus, like -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. You can hide the label if you just hide it. That's it. So go ahead like that. Sorry, I couldn't fix that number 2. It should be 2 only. And here I have to put it here. Look, now it was draggable in every direction. So this means I can only drag in horizontal direction. I'm not able to move it up and down, only left and right. Right. So now you want to create, now this is added. An instruction you can add here. Let's say put the red, put the black dot at 7, let's say, right? See the preview. It's already at 7, sorry. So we can just make it graph so that it's not at 7. Just move your draggable point wherever you want. Say keep it 0. And then you see the preview. Look, now the point is at 0 and you want to make it at 7. So you go and put it 7. Nothing is happening here. It's still a dot because we haven't added any CL coding here. But the coding is very easy here. What you have to do, go here in the edit computation part, write down correct. What you want to check where it is correct, when this means the component where you are dealing with. So this dot number, what is that number? A, because the draggable point is only A, equals to 7. That's it. Everything will come automatically. Let me just zoom in so that you guys can see nicely. Look, so I'm using this. Let me delete it. Correct. Look, this, because we are dealing with the same component, dot number A equals to 7. So you have to validate at 7. Let's see the preview now. Okay. Now look at the dashboard preview. If I'll go anywhere, it's cross. But if I go exactly at 7, it's 5, 6, 7. Look, you are just helping your students to visualize that 7 is more than 5 and less than 8 or less than 10. You can make these partitions more like narrow. You can just make it 1, 1, 1. It's fine. You can do that. Let me just zoom back to 125%. What you have to do, go to settings and you put it the steps here 0.5. In that case, these points will be visible. Okay, it's not coming here. Let's do it something else. We are on the home button. Steps are 1. Y-axis also, so let's say steps are 1. Label you want to add, you can if you want. Otherwise, you can just leave it like that, because you can also minimize what you want to see or not, because in that way you will be able to see what is happening. Maybe just because of the window size, I'm not able to see these things. Otherwise, you can definitely do that. So that's how you can make it ready for the feedback or also for auto-corrected. Okay, and next thing, let me show you what you can do based on the multiple choice question. Now I want to give a feedback when my student is selecting any multiple choice question. Multiple choice question, because sometimes students, they just randomly mention, like, okay, I just know this A, B, C, A is the answer, B is the answer, something like that. But they don't really explain why they selected that particular option. So for that, Very simple coding. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add the question. So for questions, you can use the note part, math input for numerical answers, multiple choice for only multiple choices, or checkboxes you can use. Okay, so I'm just want to give the feedback. You have seen this one, right? Let me show you the one where you could see the feedback here. See, if the number is, let's say 9, right? Let's see the feedback, how it was coming. I'll submit the answer. Then I will explain why. So here you can also mention what you want, but look at the feedback here. If I write 9 is 5 units less than, it's no. If I say 9 is 5 units more than 4, then it says yes. It means go ahead. You can also write some other messages here. So you can just continue there. So let me create very similar thing in our activity. So what I'm going to do, this is also a good trick, guys. If you want to copy something from my activities, go to the preview. Look at this. Copy this screen. Copy this screen. Go to your activity where you are creating. Make sure you have an empty screen. There is nothing here. And you just use Control V, CTRL and V to paste. Exact screen will appear in your activity, and then you are free to change questions, numbers, or whatever you want. Right? Let me just change this question to 5 to say 6 units. Right? So I just need to go to this component where the correctness. I'm checking the validation. Look, the validation was happening at 9. Now I will make it 10 because I have changed 5 to 9. I'll tell you why I'm checking 2 times. So everything is there. My options, of course, I have to change if I want, but just let it be now. Look at the preview. So 6 units right side of the 4. So I'll go and drag it at 10. Then I will add the answer 10 here and then submit. Look, the options are ready. 10 is 5 units less than 4. 10 is 004. 10 is 5 units. Because we forgot to change this. Because we just copy pasted this element, but we didn't change this 5. Because in the original one, it was 5 based on the question. The question says 6. So it has to be also 6. That we didn't change. So I'm just using this. Let's say this is the wrong answer, right? But this was the correct answer if you remember. Look. So same thing you can make use. And the way how I did it, let me show you one by one. Let's go to the activity, right? I'm here. Let's add one by one these things and then tell you how you can actually check. Okay, so let's add the same thing what we did over there. You can also copy previous screens. Let me show you that as well. Same, from the same activity, if you want to repeat and you want to add it, just go to that screen, click on preview, click on this, copy this screen, cross, go to your empty screen, Control V. Everything is, that's what I do. I say it saves a lot of time. Now put the black dot at, let's say 10. I'll go and change the graph. I don't need to do anything in this. It's already fine, right? I will just change in the coding part. Here. It should be 10. That's it. That's it. But this time we want to make it more interactive, right? More interactive, I mean to say that we'll try to ask a reason from the student, and then they're going to check it, right? So for that, you can add a multiple choice question. Okay, and here you can write your options. I'm just writing 10 equals to 5 plus 5. Okay, or what should we write? Because for based on this question, these are only valid reasons, right? Let's say 9 plus 2. We can also write some wrong answers. 10 equals to 0 plus 10, 0 minus 10. Put like that. Now here, ask student to explain their answer. This is one way of doing it. Let me do it in that way, but just click on the correct answer here. And don't forget to randomize the options. And yeah, the way how I changed these options into tiles, it was here. Now you see the preview. Look, now these are tiles. Tiles, right? So what you can do, there is a reason. Let's say you don't want to ask a reason if a student is selecting wrong answer, but you want to ask the reason if student is entering the correct answer and it was just by mistake. So if he entered something by mistake, so you should ask the reason, right? So what we can do, we don't need to change anything on the graphical part. We just need to go in this part because we want to add the reason here. Edit computation layer. It's super easy. It says explain prompt because you are asking the student to explain something. So the code is explain prompt. Click. What is the condition when you want to ask it? When this means this element dot is selected. Which option? I think first was the correct. So look, it's actually throwing one error. Now you can see here. Explain expects a boolean. Boolean means there should be two things, either true or false. So we have to add if else condition. So we can just say when, and then we can paste it. This dot is selected one. Then we can ask the reason. Why do you think? Why do you think so? Otherwise, nothing. Right? Nothing means empty double quotation. That's it. Or you can just say otherwise, thanks. That's it. Or go to next slide. Let me just put on mute because you guys can actually unmute yourself if you have a question. I know I may be fast, but I can answer your question. There is no hurry. Because this is only for you guys. I know I'm not just teaching for myself. It's just to support and to become more proficient in this Desmos or GeoGebra. So please ask if you have a doubt. So let's see the preview now. And look, so let's put the dot at 10. Technically, it should be right, but we are not checking it because it's cross or it's still showing dot. I'll tell you the reason. I hope you know the reason. So if I select only the correct wrong answer, let me select wrong answer. Nothing prompt. There is nothing, right? But if I select this one, we are not able to see that. Let's check it once again. Why it's not working? Explain prompt. Otherwise, that yeah, that's what we did. Sorry, here. Why do you think so? And otherwise, thanks. Explain prompt is selected. Yeah, correct. Okay, let's just make it multiple choice MC1. I'm just making it actually. Okay, let me just see here. Go to this when MC1 is selected. Correct. So that's what they say. This is selected one. One means first option, second, third option, third. I think we just have to ask for every option. Then only it will just show something for us. That's what I'm going to do now. Just copy this. And you just paste it and change this. Same reason we are going to ask again one. Now you just change to 3 because we have 3 options. Let's just see. This was the correct. Let's select the wrong answer. There is a reason. Why there is a problem, maybe why we are not able to see that. Check it out. But okay, let me just show you what I did in the other activity when I was showing you three things. 5 units right side of the 4. The student was dragging it and then entering the number. And then you had this option to select. Let's do this way at least. This is something maybe not working out for us. Okay, this could be the reason. Yeah, look, the reason was why we were not able to see. We actually, this was off. We have to turn it on. And then it will show that message. Why do you think so? Then they will get the option to explain here. Now look, this is cross because we haven't actually got the correct answer here. Now still it is correct, but still we are getting wrong. Now to avoid that, you just need to add one more code which says read on. Read only means we are not checking the correctness from multiple choice question. We are only validating from the graph. So you go to 10. Look, it's correct. No matter you are choosing this or not. So basically you are checking the information from the graphical part, but this is just for you or your student to explain the logic why this is the correct answer, or you can ask more options. So yeah, so that's how you can ask students to explain what you can do here, because you can customize these things. These things can be customized easily. So always change this according to the selection you have made. So maybe let's say first option was something else, second option was else, and then you, based on those options, you choose these statements. So this is one way. And you can also give feedback if you want. Now to give feedback, what you have to do, create a note from here, from the left hand side, and go to again the edit computation layer. Remember, this is your graph and the validation is only happening here. So make sure you label this, because you want to relate this graph with node where you want to give the feedback as I gave. So here, let me just write its name, question number 2. Okay, I'll go to the computation layer, and here I will create a text which is saying feedback. It's just my own words. You can create anything. Equals to, now put the condition. What is the feedback? The feedback is when question 2, the label of the graph, dot number A equals to 10, then double quotation should be used to show the result. Correct. I'm just using very simple thing. You can add emojis, green tick emoji. Just copy from here like that. Happy face, sad face, you can also add. Don't worry. Add it. Otherwise, maybe you don't want to show anything, right? Now, this has been added, but how you will show this? Now, to show this, you have to just use this content and double quotation. In the double quotation, you can add the thing which you have already defined, which is the feedback. You can write the text. Let me just say the result or feedback equals to. Now I want to use the feedback which I have already defined. Now, if you want to use the defined things, there is a trick for that. Use the $sign and the curly braces, right? And use that thing. Let me just rename it so that you don't get confused. Let me just say FED, just to have a short. So it will appear as it is. If I use lowercase f, it will show the error because FED is nothing for me. But capital FED I have defined. Simple. Now you see the feedback. Preview. Check your answer 10. Look at the feedback is correct. There is another reason what you can do. Let's say you don't want to give the feedback before a student is not selecting correct option. So for that, simple, very simple. Just go to this, put one more condition. When q2 dot number a equals to 10 and put and you say MC1, right? The multiple choice question 1 dot selected 1. Then only it will show you the correct feedback. Otherwise, it will not show. Look at the preview. Drag to 10. Answer should be correct, but it's not shown here because I haven't selected the response yet. So you can select the correct one, correct, and then you can explain it. If a student is selecting wrong answer, the feedback is nothing, right? But at your end, you can see, okay, my student has done it correctly, but he's just not selected the correct option. One more thing. If you want to check both ways, let's say this and this, then please go here in the graphical part and put the AND condition. That's it. And MC1 dot. I'm not taking you in details of these technical things. Otherwise, you will get confused. MC1 is selected with option 1. That's it. 1 is the correct option, you remember. But it's not coming at one place every time because we did randomize the choices. So these super easy tricks will make your activity more interactive. Okay, one more thing. Some people will say, no, I don't want to give feedback here. I want to give feedback after the select. So please move them up. Drag it like this. Go to preview now. Okay, look at the feedback part is now at the bottom. Selected the correct answer. Even though it is correct, but it's still showing wrong because there are two conditions to be added here. Look, it's still wrong. Now let's select the correct one. Look, feedback is correct and teacher is happy, student is also happy. If you don't want to add feedback, then avoid writing the note part, only this part, this note. So don't add this, don't add any coding part here. Then it means you are done with the assessment part. You're not sending feedback to your student. So this way we can create more pages